What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Let's dive into our first news. Tom Aspinall has finally spoken out following his controversial bout with Ciryl Gane, addressing what he believes was an unfair and dangerous situation inside the octagon. In a recent video posted on his official YouTube channel, the British heavyweight didn't hold back, expressing his frustration over Gane's repeated eye pokes during their fight and questioning why no disqualification took place. According to Aspinall, the referee's handling of the incident was completely unacceptable. He believes Gane should have been disqualified after committing multiple fouls that directly impacted the outcome of the fight. How's he not disqualified off that? It's outrageous, Aspinall said. He already got warned at least once for poking. The referee even told him to keep his fingers closed. Before the fans start booing me, understand that I've been double poked in the eye. I've been out for 14 months. I don't want someone's finger knuckle deep in my eye. Aspinall went on to describe the pain and danger of the situation, emphasizing how easily such incidents could cause long-term damage. What's it going to take for something to change? Fighters are getting seriously hurt because of eye pokes. It's not a hard job to enforce the rules, he continued. Surely something needs to be done about it before someone suffers permanent injury. It's outrageous that these things are allowed to continue without proper consequences. Tom's frustration wasn't just emotional, it was rooted in legitimate concern for fighter safety. Eye pokes are a recurring problem in MMA, often resulting in fight-ending injuries or long-term vision issues. Many fighters and analysts have called for stricter enforcement of rules, glove redesigns, or even automatic point deductions after repeated fouls. Adding to the discussion, Tom Aspinall's father, Andy Aspinall, also voiced his opinion, echoing his son's concern while criticizing the UFC's apparent lack of accountability on such matters. The UFC keeps records of everything: fights, statistics, and performances, but I wonder if they track how many fighters poke opponents in the eyes or kick them in the groin and get away with it, he said. The fight goes on, and the guy who was fouled might lose because he's been compromised. That's something the organization needs to look into. Andy continued, speaking from a parent's perspective, highlighting how distressing it is to watch his son, or any fighter, suffer due to preventable fouls. It's horrendous to think your child could lose his eyesight because of something like that, he added. I'm not saying Ciryl Gane does it intentionally, but there are fighters who make a habit of these fouls. It would be useful for the UFC to analyze the data and take steps to clean up the sport. They don't need to ban people, but they do need to enforce discipline so fighters aren't repeatedly poking eyes or landing illegal strikes. The Aspinall family's comments have sparked debate within the MMA community about the need for stricter officiating and better protection for athletes. Many fans have sided with Tom, believing that Gane's repeated pokes clearly affected the integrity of the fight. Others argue that accidents happen in the heat of combat, and disqualifying fighters too quickly could be unfair. Regardless of where fans stand, Aspinall's message is clear: fighter safety must come first. As the heavyweight contender put it, it's not about excuses or bitterness. It's about making sure no one else has to go through the same thing. Now, the question remains, will the UFC and athletic commissions take action to address the issue, or will dangerous fouls like these continue to go unchecked inside the octagon? Before we jump into the next story, we have a small favor to ask. If you're enjoying the content, please give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and tap the bell icon. It really helps us out, and ensures you'll never miss an update. Moving on to another news. Following the controversial ending of Tom Aspinall's heavyweight title bout against Ciryl Gane at UFC 321, former middleweight champion and current analyst Michael Bisping has called for an immediate rematch, and he wants it to happen before the end of the year. The highly anticipated main event was expected to be one of the best heavyweight clashes of 2025. However, the bout ended abruptly in the first round after Aspinall suffered two accidental eye pokes from Gane, leaving the champion unable to continue. With the fight stopped early and fans disappointed, Bisping believes the UFC should act quickly to make things right. During the post-fight show on TNT Sports, Bisping passionately urged the promotion to rebook the fight as soon as possible, ideally for December. They could do the fight next week as long as Tom's eye is okay, Bisping said. We've got UFC 322 in November and UFC 323 in December. Either of those would be perfect. Throw in a couple of title fights and end the year with a bang. Fans deserve to see a proper conclusion to that matchup. The former champion's comments reflect what many fans and analysts have echoed since the incident. The fight ended far too soon and left too many questions unanswered. While Aspinall's health remains the top priority, the MMA community is eager to see the two heavyweights settle things inside the cage once more. UFC President Dana White also expressed his interest in running it back. Speaking at the post-fight press conference, White confirmed that both fighters were in good condition aside from Aspinall's eye injury and that the rematch makes the most sense. He added, "They're both in shape. Other than Tom's eye, neither guy is hurt. As soon as possible, that's the fight to make. I don't usually say what's next right away, but in this case, it's clear. The rematch has to happen." Meanwhile, Ciryl Gane addressed the controversy himself, maintaining that the eye pokes were completely accidental. "I didn't do it on purpose," Gane said. "I know what it feels like to be poked in the eye. When I fought Derek Lewis, I got poked too and was seeing double for a round. So, I'm not going to say Tom's lying. It was an accident, nothing intentional." Despite Gane's explanation, the incident has sparked a wider debate about fouls and safety in mixed martial arts. Analyst Chael Sonnen weighed in on ESPN, questioning whether Aspinall could have continued. "Being poked in the eye is illegal, but fighting with one eye isn't uncommon," Sonnen said. "You're the heavyweight champion of the world. Sometimes you have to fight through adversity." Sonnen added that Gane was likely ahead on the scorecards at the time of the stoppage and that the fight seemed to be turning into a difficult test for Aspinall. Fellow analyst Anthony Smith also chimed in, recalling moments from his own career where he fought through vision problems. "I'm not saying it's Tom's fault," Smith said, "but as fighters, sometimes you just have to go. I fought in Singapore when I couldn't see out of one eye and told the ref, let's fight. You either want to continue or you don't." The conversation around eye pokes continues to be a contentious issue in MMA. Fighters like Bilal Muhammad have publicly called for stricter rules, suggesting automatic point deductions for any eye poke, accidental or not. "Warn them both before the fight," Muhammad wrote on X. "If it happens, take a point, then they'll train to avoid it." As the debate rages on, the demand for a fair and decisive rematch between Tom Aspinall and Ciryl Gane only grows stronger. Whether the UFC decides to make it happen at the end of 2025 or early next year, one thing is certain: fans will be eagerly waiting for the two heavyweights to step back into the octagon and settle the score once and for all. Moving on to another news. In a surprising and bold statement, UFC lightweight champion Islam Makhachev has publicly called out featherweight champion Ilia Topuria for a potential super fight, and he wants it to happen at the highly anticipated UFC White House event. During a recent interview with ESPN, Makhachev discussed the possibility of facing Topuria in what could be one of the biggest crossover fights in UFC history. The reigning lightweight king expressed his interest not only in challenging Topuria but in doing so at a groundbreaking venue, the White House, where the UFC is rumored to be planning a historic card that would mark a new chapter for the sport. "I don't know who's next for Ilia," Makhachev began. "He's got some big fights ahead of him, and so do I. But if we're talking about what the fans want, I think this fight between us would be huge. He wants to fight at the White House event, and honestly, I want to be there too. It's going to be massive for the MMA community, one of those moments people will remember forever." Makhachev went on to say that the UFC has been working on something extraordinary with the rumored White House card, and he believes no matchup would be more fitting for such an occasion than a clash between two reigning champions. "I know the UFC wants to make something special happen there," he continued. "They want to put together big fights, fights that make history. So, tell me, which fight could be bigger than me versus Ilia Topuria? Champion versus champion. That's what the fans want to see." The idea of a Makhachev versus Topuria fight has quickly caught fire among fans and media alike. Both fighters are currently at the peak of their careers. Undefeated Topuria recently captured the featherweight title in dominant fashion, while Makhachev continues to reign supreme at lightweight after multiple successful title defenses. The potential for a super fight between the two has been discussed for months, but Makhachev's comments are the first clear sign that he's serious about making it happen. The prospect of a UFC event at the White House has been one of the most talked about developments in the sport's recent history. UFC President Dana White has hinted at organizing a special card in collaboration with U.S. officials, aiming to showcase the global impact of mixed martial arts and its growing acceptance on the world stage. While details remain unconfirmed, the event would be the first of its kind, blending sports, politics, and international fanfare into one unprecedented spectacle. Makhachev sees this as the perfect stage for a monumental showdown. If the UFC really wants to do something historic historic. This is the fight to make, he said. Topuria is young, hungry, and undefeated. I respect him, but I want to test myself against the best. I'm ready to go wherever they want, and if it's at the White House, even better. That's where champions make history. Ilia Topuria, known for his fiery personality and unshakable confidence, has yet to respond publicly to Makhachev's call-out. However, given his track record of taking on bold challenges, it wouldn't be surprising to see the featherweight champion accept the offer. A potential Makhachev vs Topuria matchup at the UFC White House event would not only be a dream fight for fans but also a defining moment for the UFC itself, a symbol of how far the sport has come. Two champions, two dominant forces, meeting on one of the most iconic stages in the world. As Makhachev said, which fight is going to be bigger than this? If the UFC makes it happen, it could go down as one of the most historic events in combat sports history. Moving on to another news, UFC lightweight champion Islam Makhachev has never been one to hold back his opinions, and in a recent interview, he made his thoughts on rising star Paddy Pimblett crystal clear, and far from flattering. Makhachev openly dismissed Pimblett's legitimacy as a contender, saying he doesn't believe the popular English fighter would present any real challenge to Ilia Topuria, the reigning featherweight champion. When asked about Topuria's next potential opponent, Makhachev immediately shut down any talk of Pimblett being in the mix. I feel like Arman Tsarukyan has to be next, he said firmly. This guy deserves it. He made a mistake before when he was supposed to fight me, but he's still the #1 contender in the division. Maybe Arman, maybe someone like Giga Chikadze, but not Paddy, for sure. The Dagestani champion didn't stop there. He went on to criticize Pimblett's resume, suggesting that his victories have come against opponents far past their prime. Paddy beat who? Tony Ferguson? Michael Chandler? Makhachev said dismissively. Everybody beat Chandler lately. Honestly, it's not a big challenge for Topuria. Nobody has truly tested Paddy yet. He hasn't faced anyone elite, anyone at the top of their game. Makhachev's comments are a direct hit to Pimblett, who has gained massive popularity due to his charismatic personality and entertaining fighting style. While the baddie has a loyal fanbase and has become one of the most recognizable figures in the UFC, many critics, including Makhachev, believe he has yet to prove himself against high-level competition. The reigning lightweight champion, known for his dominance and discipline, emphasized that Topuria deserves a more meaningful matchup. Ilia's on top of the world right now, he said. He's a real champion, a killer. He's knocking people out cold and showing elite skills every fight. If we're talking about what's next for him, it has to be someone who's earned it, not someone who's just popular because of social media. Makhachev's remarks reflect a sentiment shared by many within the MMA community. While Paddy Pimblett's star power continues to grow, his recent performances have raised questions about whether his fighting abilities match the hype. His most recent win over Tony Ferguson, a legend of the sport but far removed from his prime, did little to convince skeptics that he belongs among the elite of the lightweight or featherweight divisions. Meanwhile, Ilia Topuria's rise has been meteoric. The undefeated Spanish-Georgian fighter has steamrolled through every opponent, capturing the featherweight title with a stunning knockout and earning comparisons to some of the sport's all-time greats. For Makhachev, pairing Topuria with Pimblett would be a mismatch, more spectacle than sport. People want real fights, Makhachev continued. They want to see champions fight champions. Topuria deserves opponents who push him, like Tsarukyan, maybe even myself. But Paddy? No, that's not a real test for him. It would be over in one round. The comments quickly spread across social media, sparking heated debate among fans. Some agreed with Makhachev, pointing out that Pimblett's toughest test so far was against Jared Gordon, a fight many thought he lost. Others defended Pimblett, arguing that his star power and entertainment value make him a draw that the UFC can't ignore. Regardless of where fans stand, one thing is certain: Makhachev's blunt remarks have reignited the conversation about Paddy Pimblett's place in the sport. While the baddie continues to climb the ranks and attract attention, fighters like Islam Makhachev clearly aren't impressed. As Makhachev put it best, this sport isn't about who talks the most, it's about who fights the best, and Paddy hasn't shown that yet. Moving on to another news, UFC featherweight champion Ilia Topuria has set the MMA world buzzing once again, but this time, it's not about an upcoming fight or call-out. The undefeated Spanish-Georgian star has teased a huge announcement, promising fans that something special and deeply personal will be revealed soon. Topuria took to X, formerly Twitter, to share a cryptic message that immediately caught the attention of fans and media across the globe. Something different is coming tomorrow, he wrote. Something that also shows who I am outside the octagon. At 10 a.m., I'll be sharing something that means a lot to me and my team. Stay tuned. The brief post, though short on details, has sparked intense speculation about what Topuria could be hinting at. Known for his confidence, charisma, and knockout power, El Matador has built a reputation as one of the UFC's brightest young stars. His dominance inside the cage has been undeniable, but his latest statement suggests that he's preparing to step into a new arena altogether. Many fans believe the announcement could be related to a major endorsement deal, a business venture, or even a charitable project. Over the past year, Topuria has steadily expanded his influence beyond fighting, engaging with fans worldwide and hinting at ambitions that go far beyond becoming just a champion. Some insiders speculate that the featherweight king could be unveiling a brand collaboration or launching a personal lifestyle or athletic brand, a move that would cement his image as both a fighter and a global personality. Others believe the announcement could be fight-related, possibly connected to the rumored UFC White House event, which has been gaining traction in recent weeks. Topuria has previously expressed interest in competing on that card, and with lightweight champion Islam Makhachev recently calling him out for a champion vs champion super fight, the timing seems almost too perfect. If that's the case, the announcement could mark one of the most significant matchups in modern MMA history. Whatever the reveal may be, one thing is clear: Ilia Topuria is at the peak of his career, and every move he makes captures attention. At just 27 years old, he's already proven himself as one of the sport's elite, boasting an undefeated record and an aura of confidence that has drawn comparisons to legends like Conor McGregor during his prime. Yet Topuria has often emphasized that he wants to be known for more than just fighting. His latest post reinforces that sentiment. "Something that shows who I am outside the octagon," he wrote, a line that suggests fans may get a glimpse into the man behind the fighter. Whether it's a philanthropic initiative, a brand collaboration, or a documentary project, Topuria appears ready to show the world a more personal side of himself. In recent interviews, Topuria has spoken passionately about his roots, his family, and his desire to inspire others. He's proud of his heritage, born in Germany to Georgian parents and raised in Spain, and has often talked about representing all three nations proudly on the world stage. This announcement could very well tie into that sense of identity and pride, offering fans a look into what drives him beyond the pursuit of titles. Whatever Ilia Topuria plans to reveal at 10 a.m. tomorrow, it's safe to say the MMA community will be watching closely. Whether it's a fight, a business venture, or a personal milestone, one thing is certain: when El Matador speaks, the world listens. Stay tuned, because as Topuria himself promised, something different is coming.